Hello and welcome to the Every Other Saturday podcast. Sadly, a new episode talking about Rangers. Just so bullshit talking about Rangers now, but has to be done. Have to get the thoughts out there. If you like this video, which I don't think many people will, to be honest with you, who's clicking on to talk about Rangers at the moment? That's the thing. Like, if you like it, subscribe and share for us. Appreciated. If we maybe bring up some of the points that's been burning away inside of you, let us know. But as you can see by the actual title of the video and the first screen, it's time to cut our ties with Giovanni Van Bronckhorst, I feel. Just so negative, poor results, just awful style of football. Mm-hmm. It's done, innit?
It's done, mate. It's done. It's been done for a while. Only could say is probably last game's against Napoli away, and that's a scary thought.
Napoli away, exactly. But we'll go on to talking about that game. But it just doesn't really seem like even that would be a sacking, to be honest with you, the way this board does. But this should have been the sacking. This should have been us talking about who we go what again as a new manager and actually being excited about something for the future. But too bad we had to watch Livingston just bosses, to be honest with you. At Ibrox, you would think Ibrox usually been all right there. Livingston have been robust as they always are this season, made it hard for his own over there. I'm surprised we even beat them in the first game of the season the way this season's went so far. They go 1-0 up in the first couple of minutes of the game, and from then on it's just an absolute slog to watch. Nothing in terms of creative players. Nobody want to take ownership of the ball. Just nothing. And the man in the photo there, Cholak, he's up front. He's not getting service. Anytime he does get service, he's not winning headers against him. Why are we crossing the ball into the box then? Like over 75 times, I think it was, we crossed the ball into the box in this game. Like one tactic, and it's like what you would teach P5s to do as a school team. Like, I just cross the ball into the box and he'll get it. That's just what it feels like. It's just there's nothing to your team at all.
I don't know why you would want to cross the box when you get some NBA players in at the back, mate. The size of the defenders, even when we've seen them at Livy away and all, mate, scary. Even the boy up front and all, by the way. I'm like, where does he get these players from?
I know.
I tell you what, though, as you say, when we played them away, we were lucky. And in this game as well, lucky to get a point, man. Honestly, really uninspiring stuff, Jack, as you can probably tell. Listeners probably can tell by our voices, really. You're done with it now, man. It's like, this guy should be gone by now. But as we know, probably nothing's going to change until people higher up are gone. But I'm done with it all, really. I mean, as I say, it's so depressing talking about Rangers, and it's just so.
As soon as the fans turn, though, I think it's only a matter of time. Like you seen it with Steven Gerrard, he was given time after poor result, and then the fans, it was enough. They were chanting his name to get him out, and it was done after the game, pretty much. So. It only looks like maybe he should be gone now, which is the annoying thing, but maybe one more bad result. There's no fans at the Napoli game, which is good for him because there'll be nobody why get him out. But it's Saturday at Ibrox against Aberdeen. If he's still in charge, it's going to be it's do or die. You either do something in the pitch, the players included, by the way, not just the manager. Like the players included need to.
I'm done
show
with
something. Like if they don't, it could be time to go.
So as soon as you say the players, I'm just instantly thinking about the left side of your team. I am done with Ryan Kent, man. I can't watch this guy play football anymore. I really am. I'm done with him. Been done with Barisic probably for the moment we signed him. I've never rated him, as everyone knows who listens to the podcast, and Jack knows very well. I do not rate Barisic at all. But it's just some of the team as well. I've got to take ownership as well with some of the mistakes and what's going on in the squad. But even still at that, mate, it's no good enough for the manager's point of view and what have you. Just as I say, it's a disaster at the moment. Just feels like nobody cares on that part, mate. It just feels like everyone knows what's on the horizon, really. And as you say, if it's toxic in the ground, then it's only going to go
probably the most toxic I've actually seen it, to be honest. On Saturday, that was the first time I really saw fans as a whole really voicing their frustrations towards the manager and the team as heavily as they did, which is expected and is wanted after that on the pitch. Going through the team, McGregor, had nothing to do, which is the annoying part. Livingston didn't threaten really by their goal and maybe a couple of chances. Like, apart from that, Tavernier is shocking, like absolutely shambolic this season. Just nothing to his play at all. Just so poor.
Even though, listen, as I say, this is on the recruitment side, it's fault as well. But the fact that there's no cover out there and there's no two for every position, where it's shocking. In fact,
I mean, you look at last season, we had Patterson as cover at this time of the year.
Aye,
look at it now.
There's no cover at all. I don't really rate Devine. I know he's still a young lad and he's got a long way to go in the game, but I don't really rate him. I know
but then even if the squad and the management did rate him, surely they would actually go and game that game against Dundee. But I just found that wild that Tavernier was still playing, like, after the rumours of him being injured, the poor form, obviously he's the captain and whatever, but it was time to go and give somebody else a chance and give Devine a go.
No, I would have listen, throw MD in at this point of view, mate. That's what I'm on with Jack Lad. It's just throw anyone in for me. I really wanted to see McCann play, I'll be honest with you.
McCann should be playing.
He's a starter for me. This is what I'm on about. He is a starter for me in these kind of games. How do you not go, do you know what? Throw him in. It's a good experience for him, as you say, at home against Livy. Difficult side.
He's better than every midfielder we've got at the moment. Apart from Lundstrom. But Lundstrom still popped up with a goal, although none of us wanted it to happen, really, because who even cares about a point against Livy? It's a draw's a loss at Rangers, like,
especially at home.
Even at that.
I knew as soon as I said the way the first half was going, mate, it was dismal. And then, as I say, Livy get in a couple more times. They were looking a bit more threatening, as I say, but I knew as soon as they got to that half-time whistle, as soon as they came out for that second half, if they're behind the ball, they're just going to defend that 1-0 lead. And you're just making it even...
It's the worst possible start against Livingston you can ever have, is letting them score early. Because then they'll just camp behind the ball and, as you say, made it really hard for us. But we could have made it easier for ourselves if we actually tried to, like, play football or create anything. Like, that would have been great. But the rest of the team, King obviously went off at half-time, apparently due to illness. I mean... So far, I've not seen anything that's really impressed maybe Leon King, to be honest with you. I've not really thought anything of him. I just think he's another guy that will come and go. Like, I just don't see anything. Obviously, he's 18, he'll improve, but personally, I just want my centre-backs to be a bit taller and more physical than him, and he's just not doing it for me so far. The guy and his partner, Ben Davies, is, though. Ben Davies, I think, is the only shining light through this poor time. Like, looks a good defender, can play with the ball, reads the game well, like him a lot. Borna Barisic is absolutely shite. And he is another one that I don't know. Obviously, Ridvan Yilmaz had a bit of a knock going into this game, so that's why he was on the bench. But Barisic is just shite. Like, I just can't be bothered even seeing him play anymore. Lundstrom, again, does what he does, just passes it side to side, looks a bit more urgent than the rest of the team, gets the goal eventually, but apart from that, it's just whatever. Who else even played? Davis, was it?
Davis, aye.
Davis is done. Davis shouldn't be playing games for us anymore. Davis is finished. Like, you've got McCann, who is literally the regen of Stephen Davis on the bench, and you just won't give him a game. Like, who else even played? Tillman. I mean, you just need more for him all the time. Like, that's a guy you're looking to be more creative, and he never was. Arfield at right wing, like, wow. Just Jesus Christ, man. Less said about that, the better. Kent, again, awful.
He's got to go. He's just got to go for me.
Nah, get rid. And Cholak, usually in these kind of games at home, will always pop up with a goal. But when you've got nobody really doing anything for you to try and get any decent ball into the box, create anything for you, latch on to, it's going to be tough. And then the subs who came on, Morelos, Sakala, Roof, they flung the kitchen sink in it at the end. But even at that, we couldn't get the victory, which leads us on to a man who looks like he was trying to save his job with every single last thing he could do, putting 4 strikers on the pitch at the one time. But as the title of the podcast said, as we've said already, it's time to just cut our ties here. It's just going to end worse, because there's nothing against Giovanni as a guy, a legend of the club as a player. Like, nothing to do with that at all. Like, his management style is just so bad. Like, just doesn't really look like he's a figure that you would look at and be inspired to go and play for. Going by his press conferences and his touchline sort of personnel, to me, I just don't know how the players get inspired or maybe get up for games when he's at the touchline, especially when it's going this poor. I just don't feel like he's going to rally them and get them ready. So I just don't feel like he's right for the job anymore. And I've backed him probably more than a lot of people. But until the last couple of weeks, it's been enough for me. And we need to look elsewhere. We just don't attack games at all. Like, there's games you just know how they're going to play out. It's just, I just need to see an attacking style of football, and we're not getting it with him.
Listen, I read a sort of wee thing when he was in Holland with a Vianot on it. So just talking about the same thing. It was backwards. It's all about back to this defenders going side to side and all this patter. And as I say, mate, it's just I've had enough of the style of play. I've had I'll be honest, as I say to you, mate, you've backed him more than me, to be fair. After as I said, he set the tempo with the first look for him. I thought, get this guy going, man. I never really see when everyone was hyping up and going Gio. I just looked at him. I thought, this guy's not the one. But I mean, as you say, wins a Scottish Cup and he has a fantastic run in Europe. You have no choice but to believe in it. But now it's just dreadful, as I say, mate. It's dreadful, as you say. Just done with it, mate. I've been done with it for a wee while. I don't even know what to say, mate. I'm just done with it.
It's literally just...
I feel sorry for him because he looks like a lovely man. He looks like a really nice guy, right? But I just don't want to be like, do you know what I mean, screaming out abuse him, because I don't think
he doesn't deserve that in the way there's other contributing factors to him as well. It's not as if
I just feel like
just him.
I just personally feel like, I think the responsibility of this job and what have you, I think it's really out of his depth. I think he's out of his depth, really. I do. I just don't think he can handle with the expectation and the pressure that as fans we all want and expect, you know what I mean? And we want to see an attacking style of play. At home against Livingston, as I say to you, mate, that should be 5 or 6, man. Let's not kidding ourselves on. That should be 5 or 6, and that we should be playing cannon there, getting in minutes. And even as I said with the Motherwell away game, mate, I said to you, if we wins 2-1, he should be gone. But there are games we should be going and getting 3 or 4, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, as I said the last time, you're not entitled to beat everyone, but you know what I mean? Like, we should be, especially away at home, that should be 3 or 4, man.
Nah, there's just nothing that even you can look at and say we're going to go and beat any team by even 1 goal at the moment. Like, going into obviously Napoli next and then Aberdeen. Like, it's fixtures, two tough fixtures in the one time, and I just don't feel this team has the quality, the mental strength, or the backing for the fans, or even the manager's blueprint of the game to even beat these teams like at all, or even lay a glove on them. Aberdeen this season is scoring for fun. They've got Bojan Miovski, 9 goals this season. They've got Duke that have signed for Benfica, both up front scoring goals for fun. I just don't see how we're going to be able to compete with that. Then it's a sad reality that we're actually talking about that, because Aberdeen were down the bottom end of the table last year. And it's now the fear of them coming to Ibrox and beating us. Like, I feel that obviously if he had to get sacked, it would have been straight after the Livingston game or the day after. The fact that it's going on to now means Napoli's going to come up. I think Napoli's just a no-go. Like, it'll be all lying on Saturday's game. What happens then if it's time up?
You say that you can hang with the Aberdeen game, mate, but see if we go out there, and as I'm feeling, mate, honestly, Napoli could go and hurt us really, really badly. Do you know what I mean? We just get embarrassed in Europe, as I say, at home to Liverpool. Obviously, we know Liverpool are a fantastic side, but to lose at home 7-1, that's not acceptable. No. We've been the whipping boys of the Champions League, we know that. We're out of depth, you know what I mean? But listen, this has been the best squad that my boy's seen at Rangers in a long time. It's, as I say, if that's the kind of people we've got.
Exactly. But I have no hope on them leading this club forward. And I just don't even if they did sack Gio as well, I just like, do they have the same... Do they have the same like view on who we would want as a manager? I don't know, because I think we just need something totally new, just something totally left field, and we need somebody to believe in. And I just don't feel like Gio's the guy any longer.
Who has no affection with the club. This is what I want to see. This whole ex-players, people who have been in him with. I don't want none of that. I want a guy coming in who is fresh. He's got new ideas, and he turns around and he tells you, this is how I play football, and this is what we're going to do. I'm done with this whole get an ex-player in. See all that kind of matter. Never, no. Away you go with that. I don't want MD who's been at the club or whatever.
Nah, I'm done with that as well, to be honest with you.
Somebody with a bit of cojones, somebody who's going to tell, this is how I play football and this is how we're going to play football, you know what I mean? I'm just, as I say, mate, I feel it for the guy, but at the same time, the club always comes first, no matter what. Do you know what I mean? Players, whatever, the club always comes first, and I feel bad for him, as I say, mate. You know what I mean?
I do feel bad for him because, as we touched on, those contributing factors to this. There's the board, there's the playing squad he's been left with, but then on his side, it's like, you've got to go and play better football than that. Like, the players still available is have to be going and beating Livingston or Shonehan at home. Like, that was, even Dundee as well, like, awful display of football. And then he comes out after the game and but they think about the booze off the part, and he's like, they were accepted and we'll rectify that on Saturday. And then we come out and play like that. Like, they're just repeating the same shite. Tavernier in his press conference as well. We can only apologise for the display and we'll work on things. I'm like, I don't want to hear the same shite all the time. Like, just tell us, like, why just bullshit us all the time.
And that's what I'm on about. See, obviously when it happened at the time with Connor Goldson, when he comes out and he says what he says after losing to Hibs.
Probably the best interview ever.
And we were all criticised, but we were, some of us, I remember I was criticising whatever, and then you come round to it and you're like, you know what, maybe this guy, that was refreshing. That guy, you just turn around and give an honest opinion. The fact that, look, we're absolutely dug and bone.
And he was clearly raging about the game, said it how it is. Like, that's what you want.
That's what you want. And I mean, maybe we are a bit too harsh on Goldson, do you know what I mean?
It's just like when you lose one guy, and especially as influential as he is at the back, you just notice it straight away.
That's what I say all the time. He's a real leader, as I say, mate. Anytime you're at a game, whose voice can you always hear at a game? Connor Goldson, commanding. So, in that point of view, as I say, it's refreshing. I don't listen to any Gios before and after the games. I can't. I think a lot of fans are the same since Gerrard's gone. It's not even obviously we do that. It's just that I just can't, because he does the same thing all the time. He does that whole and I'm like, I can't listen.
No, it's boring to listen to, and it's much like the football as well. It's just boring to watch. So, we'll see how things go. But on to obviously Napoli is next, and it couldn't get any harder because they're the most informed team in Europe at the moment, and currently on their biggest winning streak, either history or something like that. Like, they're insane team at the moment, and we are going to their ground with no fans, and we've seen how hostile it was against Liverpool. We have no chance even getting a shot in this game, I don't think. I might not even watch a game. That's how bad this could go.
After you watch a game,
this is how bad this could go.
You'll watch the game, away you go. No, I just, as I say, mate, Napoli are fantastic, and to think that was probably our best performance in the Champions League for me was at home against Napoli. Obviously, we lose the game, but still, I mean, probably the best team in it. And we gave them a real good go and still get beat 3. But I'm really, as I say, this is the game. I know everyone was on about the Liverpool game. This game here, with an informed Napoli team, as you say, no defenders, mate. I think it really will be a bad night. I just don't understand. See if he's still in a job after this game, mate. I'll be shocked, man. I really will.
No, I won't be, because I just don't think they look at the Champions League. Like, that's what annoys me. Like, we had a good enough team, so why are we not sacking the manager after getting beat 7-1 in the Champions League? If we had a good enough team to compete, surely he should take the blame for that. But the opposition's Liverpool, so it just gets flung in the bin.
Yeah, but that's what I'm on about. That's the problem. That's the attitude that should not be there. Getting battered 7-1 at home against MD is unacceptable. Do you know what I mean? Going away here, I'm telling you right now, I wouldn't be shocked if it's 15 in the first half. They are frighteningly, too frighteningly good. They've got that Nigerian striker back as well, wouldn't they?
Osimhen scored last night, winner against Roma.
Roma, who have been a really decent team and all, for what I've seen when I get.
I think they could have went top of the league last night, Roma, if they won. So
I think he done Chris Smalling. We got him on his weaker side and put the ball away. But they've got him. They've got obviously that other boy. They've got Kvaratskhelia. He's just going to absolutely destroy Tavernier if he plays. If Tavernier doesn't somehow fake an injury or something like that and pulls out the game, because he's going to rip him apart. You've got who they could play Lozano. They could play. They might, as I say, mate, they might rest and what have you. But I tell you what, middle of the park is where they're going to hang with the boy. You've got the screen there. Ibrox, I thought he was sensational.
They've got Lobotka. They've got Zambo Anguissa. Obviously, they've just got a really good team all round. And as you say, they might rotate a bit because they're through and they want to obviously keep their fight at the top of the Serie A, tough league, so they want to stay right up in the top of that. So they might go and rotate a few players, but if they had to play their under fives against us, we'd get beat. So that's why I'm not even too bothered about that. I honestly, over 4 or 5, I cannot see any other result.
I'm going 8. I know.
Imagine.
I'm going 8. Mate, I'm telling you, they are going to batter us. Honestly, they are going to batter us. I can see it. But honestly, we're teeing it on this. What's got if you get the winner or something?
Well, this is onto the team I would play.
Oh my God.
I made this last night when I was thinking. I put Hollander in here, by the way. I meant to pick King. Obviously picked the wrong player, but it's 100% a 4-5 like 1. I think probably Kent will play instead of Cholak, but I don't even. Kamara's apparently back. We need a fucking midfielder. I just don't want to see Davis actually attempt to play against Napoli. Arfield, probably I would maybe play him over Tillman actually. Yilmaz, I think, why not play him? Barisic is like pish, so just play him. And then it will be obviously the 3 at the back, and it doesn't really even matter who we play. See if we could play 11 defenders just to
I would die. As the same, it doesn't matter who we play. I'm telling you, this is going to be a high scoring game. I honestly think it's going to be a high scoring. See with Kamara, I think Kamara's leaving in January. I know, by the way.
I think Kamara and Kent will both go actually in January.
I'd love it if Kent went. You can take Barisic away or not.
We just need new faces in this team, like Davies and Yilmaz and Tillman. Hopefully, if he can actually go and kick on a bit, like these need to be the players that we're going to bring through, and they can have their own path into the first team rather than Barisic and Davis and Arfield all playing all the time. And it just depresses me even looking at the team. Like I didn't even want to pick this team. Like this is embarrassing that we need to go to Napoli and play with 5 at the back and play with that weak a team. Like, it just looks so poor. And you think of the players that we've got out, like Hadji would be playing if he was fit. Hollander, no doubt. Goldson, 100%. Lawrence, definitely. Like, you look at the players that maybe would have added something else, made it definitely a lot stronger, and that's when we need to serve up. I'm just scunnered. Absolutely scunnered.
Soul destroying. I'm not enjoying any of the games. As you say, just thinking about the first Champions League game, also away in Belgium, mate. That was soul destroying and all. That
started the fucking the whole season up really for the way it's went.
It's just soul destroying to watch your club play football at the moment. Do you know what I mean? As I say, I'd fake injuries. I'd pretend to collapse in apart, man. Napoli are going to batter us, man. I'm telling you. It's going to be a really, really scary night for us. See if he plays Yilmaz. That's another thing. I know. I want that guy to play, but I wouldn't want him to get thrown into a game like that, by the way.
No.
Yilmaz, I wouldn't want him to get just thrown into the deep end.
I do now. I don't care anymore. Why are we fucking babysitting this wee guy?
No, true.
Just go and fucking play him. Barisic is absolutely woeful. I don't care if he's been here for 4 years. Play the guy that we paid the money for.
Aye. 5 odd million for him, innit?
Aye, just play him. He's not even played a minute of Champions League yet.
No, but
we've got nothing to lose anymore, so why not fucking play him?
No, I mean, I suppose just throw him in there, but as I say, mate.
But when you look at it logically, then you think...
It's logically, when you look at it, I'm like, that's not going to do his confidence a world of good, is it, getting thrown into the thing? But throw him in, as you say, paid the money for him, you've got to be prepared to step up and play. See, but I wouldn't be shocked if Roof starts, but you never know.
I don't think Roof's in the Champions League team.
Is he not?
No, I don't think so.
That's disgusting. That man get bags of goals. It's the same, mate. I don't really care who plays. He could play McLaughlin and McGregor up front. Imagine he did that. Imagine we're just going to play McGregor and McLaughlin up front.
But when you actually look at it, like this is probably the most negative podcast we have ever done. Like, and it just everything about the club has just got this vibe about it. Like, you're going to the games and it's just toxic. It's just like, what's the point even spending money? Like,
it's backwards, mate. Ever since we won the league, it feels backwards, mate. I feel like we're going back to the days when we're finishing third and whatever. You just honestly, with the energy that I'm feeling at the moment, mate, it's not positive at all. As I say, it's toxic. It's negative. I don't even want to talk about my team.
Nah, as soon as that game finished as well on Saturday, that was me tuned out. I don't even want to think about Rangers. Like, as soon as I stepped out that door, I'm not done. Don't even want to think about it anymore.
Basketball straight on there, then and there, mate. I thought, yeah, it's something for on, mate. But I am just
the quicker this comes to an end, the better for everybody. I think the players are clearly not playing for them. The fans are turning, and they will continue to turn even more if it doesn't improve. Be now and Saturday, and it's just going to become a even more toxic environment than it already is. So the Rangers board just need to go and.
2 seconds. I've just seen the announcement for Rangers that there's a 5th kit and it's Giovanni.
Oh, no way.
I honestly, as I say, anything for the money. I just want these lot. Honestly, if MD has to go and all, by the way, Ross Wilson, he needs to go, mate. He's the first one I'd be dragging out the door, man.
Mm-hmm.
He has to go, mate. The signings haven't been good enough. As you say, let the manager down probably, and he's just, as I say, all together. They all need to go, but if there's 2 to go, I'd be getting Gio and Ross out first, mate.
Nah, Ross Wilson's a guy that needs to go, man. He's just, again,
not good enough.
Signing's shocking.
Who was the last decent signing he brought in, man?
Probably Cholak for this season, but when you look at this season's transfers as a whole, like, I mean, there's so many on that you could look at and be like, wow, we actually signed him. Like a couple of them starting to come through. Davies obviously starting to play games now. He looks to be a good player. Tillman said he's flashes. Lawrence has been injured, but we've seen when he was playing, obviously he's going to be a good player. Matondo just never shown up, has he? Yilmaz again not had his chance. Cholak's obviously done well, but
that's what I'm on about. But the money we paid for Matondo, do you know what I mean? As you say, the money we've paid for him, you need to perform. As I say, see with Tillman's and all, I noticed that he was on the edge of the box, always looking for the ball, you know what I mean? But Barisic just wanted to get his wee buddy so he can do the wee step overs and the wee quick. See, if I was playing against Ryan Kane, I'd take a red card, I'd put him in the boys. I just fucking fuck the wee thing. Honestly, I'm done with that guy, man. I can't wait until he's gone. Do you know what I mean? He's such a frustrating player to watch. Do you know what I mean?
I'm just done with everybody bar James Sands. That's me.
Come on. I don't even think we'll sign him in January, by the way. I don't.
Well, apparently the rumours are that there is money that is already sitting there ready to go and sign him and Tillman. I mean, I don't know if... I personally don't know if that's the right decision to make, considering the amount of money the 2 of them are going to cost. I feel like maybe that money could be best spent elsewhere, but if that's what they're doing, that's what they're doing. But aye, the message still remains that we're done. We need Giovanni out. And this has been probably the most negative podcast ever. So if you did agree with any of the points, if you like, subscribe, share for us, always appreciated. And hopefully by next week, we've either beat Aberdeen convincingly, we are absolutely attacking blistering display, or Giovanni is gone and we're thinking about a new manager. So until then, don't think about Rangers, but we'll see you then.